Hi, I'm Claire Saunders from What's New in Electronics, and I'm here at IPC APEX with Robert Boguski from Datest. How are you?
Hello, Claire. Thank you for having me.
An absolute pleasure. So, tell me a little bit more about Datest and your evolution. I understand there's things happening and changes coming about.
Well, we're an old company, but we're a new company.
Fantastic.
We started in 1984. We started as a traditional purveyor of in-circuit test services, both test engineering on the front end, programming, fixture development and design, and testing. That was the backbone of Datest business for probably the first 15 years of our life. But as the industry evolves, so we as suppliers to the industry have to evolve.
Of course.
Engineers, customers bring new demands or pose challenges to us. It's not enough simply to say, I tested 100 of your boards, Ms. Customer, and 98 passed and 2 failed. Ms. Customer now pushes back and says, okay, explain to me why the 2 failed. So you start with an initial level of troubleshooting where a technician sits at a table and probes out the board with a voltmeter. Now they want to know what the solder joint reliability is. Are there any incipient failure mechanisms built into the board? How long is this thing going to last? Do you see any leading indicators in the board that might cause me to worry about field reliability?
Yeah.
So to answer those questions, we've built up other skills, acquired other systems, and broadened our capabilities in recent years to give a fuller picture of the status of the board. Not just that it works in the here and now, but that it's going to work 6 months from now or even 6 years from now.
So you're really investing in the future and making sure that the company is going to be around for a significant amount of time and sort of evolve like the industry does, as you say, quite quickly.
Yes, and an interesting thing happens when you do that. You get new capabilities, and engineers bring you things other than printed circuit boards to investigate.
Yep.
For example, when we started, we were not in the imaging business. Now we are.
Okay.
We acquired our first imaging system in 2009. We now have 4. Soon we'll have a 5th and possibly a 6th.
Okay.
And we did that to perform some of these evaluations that I was describing, where we're asked to go deeper into a board non-destructively and determine where the source of the short is. Is it an internal bridge in a bare board, or is it a component issue, or is it a corrosion issue, or is it a frayed wire, a bond wire, for example, or is it an assembly workmanship issue of some sort? They want more detail to be able to take that as an actionable item and go back and tweak their process and make it work for them.
Well, ultimately that saves them time.
Right.
Because they don't have to do the same thing again. It puts a little bit more pressure on you, but it gives you that opportunity to broaden your business, to broaden the horizons, and obviously the capabilities that you can offer to new customers as well.
Exactly. And we can then offer a whole suite of services for a customer. So rather than simply performing in-circuit testing or flying probe testing and doing a digital or an analog test, we can x-ray the board and tell them what all the solder joint qualities are. We can look at through hole and measure the fill level on the through hole. We can look at contaminants on the board. We can do boundary scan testing if the board is designed with JTAG on it. So nowadays we might offer 5 different services to the customer for a single part number. And they're willing to pay for that. If, as you say, if it saves them time on the back end,
of course, yeah,
then they're happy.
Yeah, and then you're learning all the time, you're evolving all the time, because you don't know what the next question is, the next challenge, until you test that board.
Right, and the data that you learn from that process is iterative. We learn, we apply it to that customer, we apply it to future customers, and then we can sell it kind of as a package service for those customers in the future.
Well, that's fantastic. It sounds very interesting. It sounds like there's never a dull day in the office.
Never. And it is continuously evolving as miniaturization progresses and new requirements pop up, particularly in the high reliability and aerospace and life support sectors. then we have to evolve with it, or
Yeah.
the market will leave us in the dust.
Great stuff. And it's an international opportunity for you, or is it not just an American-based opportunity?
Correct. We originally catered primarily to a Silicon Valley clientele because that's our home, but now the majority of our business is outside of our area.
Okay.
Continental U.S., but also North America, Canada, Mexico, Europe and Asia to some degree, South America to some degree.
Okay, fantastic. Well, as I say, opportunities sound endless. It sounds great. And thank you very much for sharing it with us.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much. Take care.